Hey everybody, welcome to Mr. Rogers Afternoon Clay School. Today I'm going to show everyone how I like to do small coil pots. So this is basic coiling today. So I'm going to make just a coiled cylinder today, not dissimilar from this. This is one I made yesterday. It's leather hard. And the first thing I need is a round base to build on. So I set out my dowels. These are 1/2-inch dowels or 3/8 dowels, somewhere in there. And I'm gonna make about a 4-inch diameter base, roughly. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to just take the lid of this slip jar and cut out my base. With my needle. So. And there is my base. And it is the same diameter, gauge rather, as those dowels, and about the same diameter as that lid. Next, I like to build on a banding wheel to make it a little more simple to coil. This is a Shimpo banding wheel. Next, I need some coils. Now, people make different types of coils. I like to make my coils round and then make them flat. Some people just like to build with round coils. Let's just take a chunk of clay and you roll it out. If it starts to flatten out on you as you roll it out, it's all right. You're gonna use it flat anyway, if you do it my way. So you want the diameter of the coil to be about the same as a pencil. So that's very, very similar in diameter. And you want the diameter of the coil to be consistent. So you don't want to have fatter areas and skinnier areas. So there's my first coil. Now, this first coil is going to be the most important coil strength-wise. So this one, even though I'm attaching soft clay to soft clay, really technically all I need is maybe a little bit of moisture and some pressure to make these stick. But to be a little bit more diligent, I'm gonna score and slip this first one on. So I take my scoring tool and this was a big one. I just cut it up into a smaller piece and score that up. All right, now it's ready. Now I'm gonna take this coil and I'm actually gonna take a section of it and show you the cross section. So that coil is round at this point. But what I'm gonna do is take the palm of my hand, this part of my hand, and just lightly smash it, just gently flat, and then I'll flip it and then do that again. I'm not smashing it much thinner, but now when I take a cross section of it, let's compare them. There we go. These are going to stack up way nicer than these because the point of connection is going to be much wider, be more surface area. So this will connect much better. So now I'm going to scratch this up. I only need to scratch up about the first 8 inches of it or so, because that will be the circumference. And you can see how this banding wheel comes in handy. You can keep the brush in one spot and spin the wheel. It does the work for you. So this is a really crucial connection, this first coil. So this is why I am putting it on with scoring and slipping. If the pot fails here, then there's not much hope for it. All right, so I'm gonna stop here for a second. This section right here, if I just took this coil and kept going and rode right on top, there would be a gap here. And I don't want that gap to live there, because I don't want there to be any daylight or air between coils. So I'm going to take this coil and smash it a bit and turn it into a ramp. And that way, this coil can just ride right up this ramp and then keep going. And that way there's no window or air showing. That is very, very, very important step. If you skip that step and then have that all over your pot, it's gonna wreak havoc. So this is what it looks like. Here's the butt end of that coil. And then I just take a little bit of moisture on my finger and then I squish it down just a tad and turn it into a ramp. And here's a low spot and it's a high spot over there. You're gonna get these all over your pot until you get to the top. It's perfectly fine. All right, so I'm gonna set that over there. I'm gonna roll out another coil. I'm gonna put this one on and then I'm gonna set the two layers I put on. Well, I've been doing this for a while, so I'm pretty good at knowing where to stop and when to stop, thinning out the coil. But for beginners, you might want to have your pencil nearby so you can sort of match it up so you know if you're getting close. And that's pretty good. So now I'm going to flatten that ever so slightly. Flip it. Now this one I'm not going to score and slip. I'm just going to add just a touch of moisture. Just a little bit of layer. And I'm going to start right in that low area, smooth that into the other one, and set this into place. And take this butt end here and turn it into a ramp again for the next coil. All right, it's a pretty decent height so far. So none of these coils are really smashed together yet. I could easily take this apart if I needed to.
Tom McLaughlin, please dial extension 2100, please. Mr. McLaughlin, dial extension 2100.
So now I need to set the coils in place. So this is kind of like pinching. I'm going to hold them and support them and then smash them together. If I don't hold and support, I might lose the shape of that vertical wall. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it very difficult to peel these coils away from one another, if not impossible. That is my goal. So I'm really smashing them together. This is a very crucial step. You cannot skip this step. Otherwise you will have some major problems down the road. Will definitely start falling apart as it dries. All right, that's going to be part 1 of this coiling series. And next I'm going to add another coil, and then I'm going to smooth out the inside.